They should sign Galladay and have Galladay and Allen Robinson run out there.
Yeah.
Just no effort, smoking cigarettes. Rockford!
Wow, week 5.
Yeah,
Review.
in the books. Getting almost a third of the way through the fantasy season already.
That's nuts.
It's not been going well for me. This is one of my worst starts. It's actually where I do go. I was pick up Braxton Berrios, had a rushing touchdown actually.
Did you already pick him up?
No,
Oh.
I'm waiting because
waiting for the true desperation.
yeah, another under 500 week for me. This is becoming a pattern, and let me tell you why I suck.
Let me tell you why I suck.
Okay.
Fantasy.
Wow.
If you recall, I made the Jerry Jeudy comment that he is Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
He's not.
No,
Spoiler.
not quite.
He is a pussy, and he has terrible hands. Yeah. He doesn't want to get hit.
Yeah.
He's got a coach that has downs. Like Russell Wilson has no arm. He has only one read quarterback.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, I do still like Jerry Jeudy's talent, but you know, Devontae Adams has something else besides talent, right?
Yeah.
And he's a full-grown man.
Yeah.
Judy's not. So that's an example of I took Jerry Jeudy everywhere. I invested in the Broncos heavily this year, and that is not looking good.
Not so far, no.
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 Okay. Week 5 recap. A couple things for you per use.
All right. What do you got?
What do I got? Let's talk about Tom Brady. The Tom Brady hit.
He's going to be down onto the hips of Tom Brady while he's in pursuit, so he's spinning around too. There's no intent to hurt the quarterback right there. You can see Tom's reaction. There's been a couple of calls here in this situation for Atlanta to hold on. I just don't know how you call that. That is not in the spirit of the rule, the way it was created to protect quarterbacks going to the ground.
The controversial penalty.
Yeah.
So it actually was eerily similar to the Tua hit, kind of how he was thrown down.
Sure, yeah.
But it was way softer, and his head did not even hit the ground.
No.
And if you notice, Tom tried like kicking and elbowing the guy afterwards. He was just pissed. Like,
Yeah.
How else do you want to get tackled, Tom?
Do you think that was he pissed off in response to the tackle, or just pissed off that you got tackled?
It was probably a combination.
Like, you think he was talking shit, or do you think it was a dirty hit?
It was not a dirty hit.
Well, no, so I'm saying, you think Tom thought it was a dirty hit?
If Tom thinks that's a dirty hit, then you can't tackle the man.
No.
So
well, I prefer that, I'm sure.
I'm thinking is, you know, he is old, right? So what we need to do is probably implement like a flag system. He's playing flag football.
Yeah.
So you got to grab Tom's flag, which is actually, in my experience, harder than tackling somebody.
Sure.
Super fucking hard, man.
Yeah.
Like it's, I don't know, man. Like it was embarrassing for the league, and I know they're trying to do player safety, but I don't know. I've watched Cam Newton get destroyed for years, and not even get a flag called. And this was a deciding moment in the game.
It was. It felt like Atlanta had the momentum. It felt like they were going to win that game until that happened.
Right. Like the only time that penalty should be called, for instance, is if it's a 30-point game and like the game's decided.
Yeah.
Maybe don't tackle him like that. But I mean, what else could the guy do?
Yeah. No,
You want to just hold him in the grass and then Tom throw it?
Yeah. We just need an NFL rule that will start keeping kids and their damn skateboards off Tom's lawn, because he's just a grumpy old man that just can't be bothered to play football anymore.
To PTI and Wilbon's take of it. He always hated Tom Brady, but his take, he made it race related. He's trying to say brothers can't hit Tom Brady. It's like, first of all, 90% of the league tackling Tom Brady is brothers.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with race.
Yeah.
It's just a Tom Brady thing.
Come
it's
on
like
now.
he's the go. I know.
Wilbon did that?
Yeah, and Wilbon does these stupid things, and I love Wilbon.
I haven't watched the race.
Occasionally, he just does these gets on these racist tropes, man. It's like, dude, no, it's bad officiating, and they're trying to protect him. They want the fucking Bucks to win. Okay, I get that. Jeffrey Dahmer, have you watched it yet?
No.
You need to watch it. It's Shark Week.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah,
Okay.
Shark Week. Like, this is Jeffrey Dahmer week, because they released a 10-episode actor portrayal of it, which is actually really accurate and awesome. dark and disturbing, but awesome.
Yeah.
And then now they released the Dahmer Takes, which they've done with Gacy and Bundy.
Okay.
3, so it's just like all in 1 week, which I thought was weird. Let the first one, simmer.
Yeah.
But it's Dahmer week, baby. And a lot of people I don't think knew a lot about Dahmer, even though he was the most recent one.
Yeah.
My favorite of all the killers. As a person, I feel like he was actually a decent dude. Not a good popular take, but compared to the other guys, right?
Yeah.
He had showed remorse. One of the things he said was he just wanted to figure out why he was the way he was.
Sure.
The other guys are like, "Fuck you, I didn't do it," or they don't give a fuck about their victims. And what I thought was the comparison I had is Jeffrey Dahmer is kind of like the Native American of serial killers. He how the Native Americans use all of the buffalo, didn't leave any to waste. Dude, these other guys dumping people in the ditch, burying them. He's like, man, I'm using this, I'm keeping this.
You bang the dead bodies? No. I imagine stuff like that goes on all the time. I mean, I don't give a shit. I was dead. You bang me all you want. Who cares? Dead body's like a piece of trash. I mean, shove as much shit in there as you want.
Right. I don't know how. I don't know which one it is.
Fill me up with cream. Turn me into
What's going on, you idiot?
Make a stew of
it.
What's the big deal? Bang me, eat me, grind me up into little pieces, throw me in a river. Who gives a shit? You're dead, you're dead. Oh, shit. Is my mic?
I don't know. Well, you like that?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So, I'm not doing pro-Dahmer over here. It's more anti-Gacy. How about that?
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
The man showed remorse. He was sick, obviously, and rip Jeffrey Dahmer.
No, I enjoy some of that stuff.
It's just crazy, dude.
It just seems like a big commitment. Like, these 10 episodes of this and 10 episodes of that.
It's 3 of the other. It's 13 total.
13.
So.
Yeah, I might. I'll have to borrow someone's Netflix. That's the thing.
For some reason, I know everything about every serial killer.
Yeah.
It's one of my passions. I don't know. I've watched them all. I've read all about it.
Yeah.
Partially because every girl I've dated, girls love that shit.
Yeah.
They love murders and deaths and
yeah.
It's if anything, girls should not like that shit because in this case they weren't the targets.
It's like a haunted house. You like being scared.
Right. I just find it fascinating, the human brain. That's why I'm always of the belief we need to keep these people alive and study them. Especially if they're willing to talk. Figure out what the fuck makes them tick. Why did this happen, right?
You never know what's truthful with folks like that, really.
Right. Bullshit.
Yep.
All right, this has nothing to do with football. So
no.
I do have Dave's Dingus of the Week for you.
Oh, nice.
Right here.
What's up, Rob Squared? This week I'm directing all of my anger and disappointment towards the Packers' backup running back, A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon, I drafted him in the 5th round this year after he outscored Aaron Jones from week 9 on last year. Arrow's definitely pointing up, or so I thought. The guy is a huge disappointment. I don't know what's bigger, my level of disappointment or his quadriceps, but either way, this dude is a bust. He doesn't get the opportunities. He doesn't get the goal line work. They seem to sling it to Allen Lazard every time they're on the 1-yard line. He is killing me week in and week out. I am sick of this dude. And Coach LaFleur said they're going to run it more, blah, blah, blah. Cram it, LaFleur. I don't believe it for a second. 6 carries against the Giants and the Packers lost. Surprise, surprise. Either way, I'm done with this shit show carnival, this Packer thing. I'm just out on the Packers in general. A.J. Dillon is now a backup for me. A.J. fill-in. And he's in a deep, deep hole, and I don't know if he can leg press his way out of this one.
It is A.J. Dillon. So, thank you, Dave, for that. Pretty great. He always coming up with new material. We appreciate him.
It's been a lot of fun watching those.
Yeah. So I actually have, to piggyback on his, I have one. It's called Rob Got Railed. And mine is Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
We were talking about it a little bit before we recorded.
Yeah.
He's terrible. He plays 93% of the snaps. His typical line is 2 catches for 12 yards. I bet it's over 38.5. Thought it was really low.
Yeah.
Thought he'd get it. Thought they'd squeaky wheel it. He's terrible. Tutu Atwell had 55 yards.
Yeah.
Ben Skoronek's getting way more run than him.
Yeah.
He's done.
I haven't been watching the Rams too closely. Obviously, Cup still eats every fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
But how is... I know the offensive line isn't great from what I remember, but I mean, Stafford, his arm looked all right.
Yeah, it's like I told you earlier. I was watching, obviously, him closely, and he's just not getting off the line. You see other receivers sprinting, he's like lollygagging a step behind. So like with that offensive line, he has no chance to even get open because he hasn't even started his route for a second. It's like, and I noticed, like, whenever they made a big play and everyone's rallying, high-fiving, you use Allen Robinson, hands in his pockets. And, like, whatever, dude. It's a team sport. You join the world champions. Like, fucking try to win a game. Who gives a fuck? You got paid.
It's like the same thing with Devontae Adams. Like, you can't be so pissed off you assault someone, you push someone.
All right, I do have a quick story time to throw out for you. I got a lot of stuff here for you. So it's the recap show, baby. So this goes back to end of high school, right after we graduated. Jim Casement, also involving Ryan Foster. You know those names. You know those guys. So Casement, we used to call him Baller. Had a lot of money, and he had this Suburban, this decked out Suburban, had a TV in it, like. So he had money. He didn't give a fuck. I wouldn't consider that an off-roading vehicle. We used to go off-roading back at Alien, and like I'm like, I'll ride around with you. You want to fuck up your car and just like have fun and party, you know. And there's three levels of back seats. So great. We had like 8 people in there. So we went out there. We did it a couple times, and every time we'd fuck something up. So this is like the last time we did it. We're out there for an hour, just taking jumps and doing a bunch of crazy shit. And we came across this like. I wouldn't call it a pond, but I wouldn't call it a puddle.
You got a pool over there? We have a pond in the back. We have a pool and a pond. A pond would be good for you. Natural spring.
Oh, yeah, or the pool or a pond. Anything would be good.
It was like between a puddle and a pond. Okay? Like this thing was pretty big, maybe 20 feet long, 20 by 10 with probably 5 feet deep in the middle. So pretty fucking substantial body of water, dude. And he's like, I'm gonna fucking go through that thing. I'm like, no, you're not gonna make it. Your car is way too heavy. I don't even think the thing had 4-wheel drive, to be honest. He's like, dude, easy, no fucking problem. I'm like, cool. I want to watch this. So he doesn't even come close to backing up enough to get enough speed.
We're okay. Hit 60, right? I'm trying. This car sucks. Thank you. Yes. What did I tell you?
So he hits it at like 20 miles an hour. And dude, we get like halfway through and we just stop and sink. And like, luckily, like tilted this way, so like it was dual pipes. So one of the pipes was out because if they were both in the car, you'd have to turn the engine off. But like, dude, so he's stuck. Like there ain't no getting out of there. We're like, what the fuck are we gonna do? We had no cell service back there. So somehow, like 10 minutes later, Ryan Foster like randomly was out there off-roading by himself, pulls up like on top of this hill. Like, knight in shining armor shit, man. We're like, dude, Foster, like, you gotta help us. He had a Jeep, like, a 4-cylinder Jeep, nothing too crazy, but just something to help. Had ropes or whatever. So it was like an hour ordeal to get this thing out. Like, we're all pulling on the ropes while he's backing up, finally get it out. And his car, dude, the whole thing is like, the interior is all wet because it started leaking up. And Jimbo's laughing about him. This is gonna cost you thousands of dollars. So finally we get it out, and like, Foster's like, you know what, I'm gonna try it. I'm like, dude, no. Your little Jeep ain't no way is making it through this thing. It didn't even have like, it had like stock tires on it too, like not like 34s or anything.
When the spares.
He's like, I'm just gonna go back up farther and get some more speed. Bro, he made it less than Jimbo did. Gets stuck, and obviously like I don't even remember how we got him out. It was just the dumbest moment. Like, I think he felt he spent so much time on getting him out. He's like, well, I'm gonna get stuck now. Dude, just silly ass moment. It was super entertaining for us because it wasn't our cars. But like, wow.
That's pretty good.
All right, week 5 recap. Getting to it here. Let's start with a little quick Thursday night game. That was really bad. Colts Broncos. Colts 12, Broncos 9. No touchdowns in this game. That's what you expect in middle school. It was terrible. Naeem Hines got hurt in the first play. Well, first drive.
Yeah.
Real awful for anyone that started him because he would have 8.
Yeah, it looked like
probably would have had 8 catches, man. If you just give whatever. I don't even know the other running back's name. It wasn't
Bill.
No, Lindsey got less than it. It was D. Jackson.
Jackson.
He had 13 for 62 and it had 4 for 29 through the air. So
yeah, he's leading.
I think that Nyheim Hines would have had a better game than that.
Yeah.
Which that's a decent enough game. Alec Pierce, your boy.
Yes.
He killed it. And I saw he only played 52% of the snaps or 58.
Really?
But still.
Yeah,
9 targets, 8 for 81. He was the go-to guy there.
Yeah, he's looking good.
He needs to be rostered, right? Like I don't know about starting him quite yet.
I was able to pick him up in one. I think he was available in another league. I just couldn't justify dropping someone at that point. But most of the other ones, it seemed like he was like in both balls deep and family.
Super deep.
But still, like it wasn't a common name before a couple weeks ago.
No, he was on my list for prospects. If you remember, he was like supposed to be. They actually drafted him pretty high, but he was a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be like a 4th-round pick. He's super athletic, though, and he's tough. He got a little Cooper Kupp vibe to him, right? A little more souped-up version.
Yeah, I mean, he's been quiet. It doesn't feel like he's had a good game yet, but he's had 60, 70, 80 yards, and he's been averaging 7, 8 targets. I mean, getting 6, 8 catches. I mean,
42-inch vertical for that guy.
Wow.
8-inch stomp, so all the things you want. Michael Pittman Jr., 8 targets, 559. That's pretty gross. He looks like a possession guy.
Yeah.
That's not what you drafted him to be.
No.
So, like, if I had the Judy line here, he's still above the Judy line, but, I mean, Matt Ryan threw 41 times in this game.
Yeah.
They need to get away from that.
I mean, he's still... I'm not worried about Pittman because, I mean, if he's going to have a bad game, that's what you want, really. It's
right.
I mean...
Volume.
Yes, get 60 yards and 5, you're playing with 10 points. I mean, and then you get 25 points and, 10, 15, 25, 10, 15, 20.
Matt Ryan had 2 picks, no touchdowns. Did over 251. You got that bet. But he had 2 more fumbles. The man is fumbling at a record pace. He has 9 fumbles this year. Not lost fumbles, but
it's becoming,
what the fuck you doing?
It's honestly pretty entertaining.
It is. He is a clown, man. He is worse than Carson Wentz. Yeah. I don't know what they're doing there.
Make a note so to remind us for later when we rewatch it. I want to see what the odds are when it comes out this week for Matt Ryan not to fumble.
Do they have that?
Well, I've seen fumbles before.
Yeah, okay.
But so I'm just curious.
Right.
I want to look it up and see if there's
maybe
a bet
it or
because
no.
if it's positive money for him not to fumble,
he should not fumble. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Especially if they get back to run the ball, which they should have. Jonathan Taylor. All right, let's move on from that terrible team to another terrible, worse team with a coach that is legitimately awful. He is terrible. He makes the dumbest decisions. He goes for it on 4th down. He doesn't go for it on 4th down when he should. It's all ass backwards.
Yeah.
He's got the little chicken. He's cutting the head off. He's running around the wheel.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, 21 of 39, 274, and 2 picks. Ill-advised picks. Both of them in the end zone, I believe.
Drive at the end.
Yeah. The first one was not even thrown to anyone. He had his first read. He looked off him and then assumed he'd be there and just chucked it up.
Yeah.
That's Rex Grossman shit. Melvin Gordon, 15 for 54, no touchdowns, but did add in 3 for 49 in the air. Boone's a better player, though, from what I've seen. He's more athletic, right? Younger, I guess.
Yeah, I think time will tell on that. I don't think so, but
Gordon's the guy to start if you had a choice.
Yeah.
But it's not good. I mean, this offense is terrible.
Yeah,
so.
I like Boone as like a desperation flex. I don't think you'd rather have someone else over him, but.
Sutton, 11 targets, 5 for 74. He is the number 1 there. I should have saw that one. But I will say, Jerry Jeudy, 8 targets, 3 for 53. Russ had him on an easy touchdown on the left sideline and just waited too long to throw it and just did a bad throw. Like, it would have been a walk-in touchdown.
Yeah.
And then there was another play where he would have had probably a 50-yard gain, and he had the whole maybe 20 yards to the sideline, the left part open, and Russ threw it on his right shoulder where the safety was coming over.
Yeah.
So if he just led him and he was going for the big play, just throw the 40-yard completion.
Mm-hmm.
And like his day looks a lot different if that happens, right?
I mean, Jeudy does not like get tackled. So
no.
He do everything he can to avoid the defender.
Yeah, throw it to the sideline. Oh, man. I mean, you can't do much with him right now. I have him everywhere, so I'm keeping him. I'm still going to start him,
I mean, he's
not with confidence, but
as poorly as the Broncos' offenses looked, I still think he's sustaining 2 startable receivers. I think Judy's borderline, but there's worse guys to start than Jeudy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's only going to get better.
Let's hope. Okay, London game here. Giants and Packers. Giants 27, Packers 22. In a shocker. How do you do the shocker again? Is it this? He knows how. I've never done it. I was doing it like this. German style shocker. Just shove your head up there. Okay, Daniel Jones, 21 of 27, 217, no picks, no tutties, adding in 37 yards on the ground. He played a gutsy ass game. He is on one leg. His hand was all mauled up, man. He's bleeding.
Yeah.
He's still not very good, but with what they need him to do, especially with no receivers, he's the kind of quarterback you want because he can make a little something out of nothing. Saquon Barkley is RB1 in fantasy right now.
You know what Daniel Jones reminds me of? It like Josh Allen's rookie year.
Yeah.
Like, he's capable of running. He has a decent arm strength, but like when it comes, you can just tell he has so much more like to be a good quarterback.
The problem is you're talking about Josh Allen's rookie year.
That's what I'm saying. So Daniel Jones is finally Josh Allen's rookie year.
Like, that's not a good sign. Yeah. So hey, when he's Matt Ryan's age, maybe he'll be good.
Yeah.
If he's still in the league,
maybe.
Which won't happen. Saquon Barkley left for about a half a quarter here. Had a shoulder injury. I did see they showed him. He actually took him back to the locker room too. And then he wanted to get back in that game so bad. He like ran out of the fucking tunnel and got his helmet. I like the fight and the fieriness in Saquon Barkley. He is not a Kenny Galladay. He wants to play. He wants to get paid, and they're winning, which is nice. 13 carries, 70 yards, and a touchdown. Did add 3 catches for 36 yards. Did have a 41-yard catch, so he must have had some negative catches there. But, I mean, he's RB1 for fantasy right now. I mean, he is, like, statistically, and also they're running him in the Wildcat a bunch around the goal line. I love that.
No, I mean, it's a perfect storm right now if you're Saquon Barkley because they're winning, so they're not going to go away from what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And Barkley is just feasting.
He looks so good, dude. He's shot out of cannon. He's nimble. He's strong. Yep. He's everything you want a running back. I mean, that's what he always was. Yeah. Just the injuries and the terrible play calling and like all they did before was run him off the middle, and now I think they're getting a little more creative.
Yeah.
And they can still. There's more room to grow there. They're still trying to, like the Wildcat stuff. They're figuring out their identity, right?
Yeah,
which right now is winning football, like Bears in the fucking early 2000s shit.
Yep. I mean, no receiver. It's kind of like the analogy where we're saying AJ Brown when he left the Titans.
Yeah.
We need Henry to get more involved, and we've seen Henry catching a ton more. Same thing with Saquon, but the Giants have a more limited quarterback than the Titans.
That is true. So. Okay, one note here, Matt Breida. Now, he is a Dable guy. They had him in Buffalo. He likes Matt Breida. And Matt Breida's got decent talent. You know, he's pretty fast. He was in the field every play pretty much when Barkley went out. Mm-hmm. So he is a handcuff there. We didn't know there was one.
Yeah.
Now, he's not going to be Saquon Barkley if Barkley has a season-ending injury. I know I would. But he's a guy on the roster. Yeah. If there's not a 5-man bench. Yeah. I like him as like a borderline top 10 handcuff, just because I know he has the trust of the coaching staff. Now that offense is going to be real bad without Barkley, but he can catch. He can maybe handle 18 touches.
Well, it feels like at the end of the year when they're playing other teams that I shouldn't say this anymore because they're 4-1.
Yeah.
But let's say that Barkley does get hurt, Jones gets hurt, and they lose 6 in a row or whatever, right? So they're out of the playoffs, kind of winter time, and they're playing another team that's out, the Falcons or something like that. It feels like that's where Breida is playing.
Yeah.
But right now, I don't trust him. I wouldn't trust him yet. I do like that.
Just
call.
as I like stash, right?
I didn't mean to poo on your point there, but I do like that call. But I was just trying to say that's the avenue where I see Breida doing well.
Right. Yeah, it's just a stash because also they don't have these other teams have their young guy they draft. They didn't draft anyone, so they don't have like a incumbent to Saquon Barkley. Yeah. So they'd play the veteran, you know what I mean? And he's not. Matt Breida is probably 27 years old. Yeah. Receiver-wise, Darius Slayton. Steve Slayton was a running back. Darius Slayton, 7 targets, 6 for 79. Pretty nice. They have no one there right now. Yeah. We need Wan'Dale Robinson, another guy I'm stashing. I'm still holding on to Tony, but apparently he has multiple hamstring injuries now. He hasn't played. Yeah. So he played a couple snaps, but he was injured in the preseason, and then they brought him back slowly, and now he has 2 hamstring injuries.
And he was in the doghouse.
They need that guy though. They need Wan'Dale Robinson, who is actually a Tony Light. Yeah. That guy just has hamstrings made of fucking poo. Yeah. I mean, what are they? It's injury-prone shit, dude.
Yeah, it just kind of reminds me like Tavon Austin.
I do have a quick thing that just came to my mind. What do you think about Odell Beckham going back there?
Yeah.
It's not good for his value because he got Damien Harris on the ball, but I mean, if they're fucking 6-3,
I can see that's the way I think is he going to be ready soon?
No, like week 10, week 11.
Okay.
I'm saying like, if they're still winning, go to a chance, your old team, like.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, Packers, Aaron Rodgers, 25 of 39, 222, and 2 touchdowns, which are bullshit touchdowns because it was first and goal in the one. Those should be rushing touchdowns. I'll go back and give you Dave's Dingus of the Week for that.
Yeah.
The numbers are pedestrian. They were winning, I think, 20-3 at one point in this game. I don't know how they lost. Aaron Jones, 13 carries, 63 yards. A.J. Dillon, 6 carries for 34 yards. That's 5.7 yards a carry. Maybe get that guy more involved.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe get McCarry on the goal line. Christian Watson, 1 carry, -3. Apparently they drafted a running back. He's a running back. Because he has as many carries this year as catches.
Well, you need to be able to catch.
He's terrible.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
Yeah.
Randall Cobb, the dinosaur, 13 targets, 7 for 99. Whoa. Only played about 60% the snaps, so I wouldn't get too carried away with that.
Yeah.
He's a trusty veteran, but like Lazard's the guy to own there, and then Dubs secondly. Lazard had 4 for 35 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
He's getting all like the end zone looks. You know what I mean? It's like he's the new Devontae Adams when they get down there. Just not nearly as good.
Sure.
But I mean, he's definitely startable, right? I would start him every week.
Anyone attached to Rodgers, especially when it's Rodgers' favorite target.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mercedes Lewis had a touchdown.
Okay. I didn't watch this
I
game.
think I asked you that. How many years has Mercedes Lewis been in the league?
It's like 17.
17.
Yeah.
Mercedes Lewis.
Yeah.
With the start of my fantasy career, Mercedes Lewis was a rookie.
Jags.
Right? Yeah. But good for him, man. He's just a blocker, but he got a touchdown. So, okay, Steelers Bills. Now this was a laugher.
Yeah.
And honorable mention for me for Rob got what was it? Not Rob got raped. It was Rob got railed.
Yeah.
Was Najee Harris. I bet that.
What did he
69 yards, 11 carries for 20 yards, and 3 catches for 16 yards.
Oh.
He was outgained by Jalen Warren, and he has outsnapped by Jalen Warren. Probably more because of the blowout. In the first half, I think it was 20 snaps for Harris and 12 for Warren, which is still not what you expect from a Tomlin-led team. No, Najee Harris is awful, dude.
Yeah, what?
He's bad, dude. He's like a power back that doesn't run like a power back.
Do you start him? If he's like,
I only have him in one spot, I think, in Nick O's league.
Mm-hmm.
I have him and Mixon, and I don't have a lot behind him. I think I have ETN. At half point PPR, I probably want to start ETN over him.
Yeah.
Which is not saying a lot.
No.
But this team's bad. I mean, I'm probably going to ride Harris one more week. Unfortunately, they have the Bucs this week, which is not a great
that's
matchup.
not even, like the fact that it's Pickett now, not even really an enticing buy low to me.
No. If you know what I want him to have one more bad game, then I will buy low on him if he's healthy. Because
like,
you get him for nothing.
How low are you willing to go?
Well, I don't know, but it's bad. He's bad. He's not good. He was a volume play last year.
You have Alan Lazard. Would you trade him for him?
Yes. Just because running back
I'm just trying to set
dude, he's just not a good player.
Yeah,
I mean, he bounces everything to the outside. And he's slow.
Yeah.
And he doesn't run like a power. It's just, and he doesn't get the catches anymore because Pickett's just chucking downfield with his small hands. Pickett had 52 passes, 34 52 for 327 and a pick. I mean, he's nice for the receivers. Pickens especially. Pickens is definitely wants to start right now. 8 targets, 6 for 83. Deontay Johnson, this is a very Deontay Johnson line. 13 targets, 5 for 60. Should have had a sweet catch that he had his foot out. He's a real good player. Claypool, actually, 9 targets, 5 for 50. I mean, these guys' numbers are going to look good when you have 52 passing attempts. In a game, you're down by 35 points.
Yeah. See Joe Flacco on the Jets.
Yeah, and I saw that was the biggest loss the Steelers had since 1989. That's how good they've been. Wow. Only 35 points. Like that's a big loss, but like I've seen way bigger.
Yeah.
So Jalen Warren for me is a same thing I'm talking about with Brady. I like him more just because he looks good. He is pretty fast and like he runs like Najee Harris should run, even though he's 20 pounds less. If that makes sense. Like he's not convinced he's only 217. He's like, no, dude, I'm 230, bro. Najee Harris is running like he's 180.
Yeah.
Bro, lower your head. Fuck you, Najee Harris. Sorry. Well, that's bad. I mean, it looked like easy. It's just such a low number for a guy who's supposed to get 80% snaps.
Yeah.
Just get some catches. But no, he's bad. All right, Bills. Josh Allen kicks some ass. 20 of 31, only 31 passing attempts, 424 and 4 touchdowns. And he threw a pick in the end zone. So it could have been an even bigger day. That's 13.8 yards per attempt.
Yeah.
Whoa. It does help when you have a 98-yard touchdown in your first drive to Gabe Davis.
Yep. I have the stats a little bit.
Dave talked down Gabe Davis just to light him up, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Gabe Davis is for real. 6 targets, 3 catches for $171 and 2 touchdowns. That is 57 yards per catch if you're doing the math at home. One beautiful snatch where he grabbed it with one hand and took it away from fucking Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man. Diggs, typical Diggs game, 11 catches, 8 for 102 and a touchdown. That's what he does every game, right? He's definitely, I mean, he's kind of where you drafted him, right? 4, but he's so safe, man.
Yeah, I mean, wide receiver 1. I mean, everyone looks like a wide, except for Jamar right now.
So the craziest thing I see, I just noticed in this now, they won the 38-3. The game was out of hand in the second quarter. Devin Singletary Allen had 5 rushes, Singletary had 6, James Cook had 4, and Zach Moss had 1. So like they just don't run the ball regardless, right? Like if it's a close game, if they're down, if they're winning, it doesn't matter. They're gonna run the ball 12 times.
Yeah.
So
Josh was the leading rusher.
Yeah, Singletary had 6 for 42.
Every game.
Yeah, every game.
Well, I'm just saying both teams. It's crazy.
Oh right, yeah.
42 yards. Leading rusher.
So Devin Singletary, you can still start him. He's getting most of the snaps, but like they just don't use him. Yeah. And I mean, you could do worse, but. Any thoughts on that game before I move on?
I know Freiermuth got hurt just because it's a relevant tight end.
Yeah, he did.
I think it's concussion.
Yeah,
so
concussion. So a little race to get back for next week.
Not really. No, I mean the Bills look like the Bills.
Steelers look like the Steelers.
Yeah.
That's what you wanted last year from them, huh?
Yeah, I love Deontay Johnson. That's it.
Yeah, definitely a buy low, right?
I wish. I tried. He's quickly becoming one of my favorites. Yeah.
Okay. Chargers, Browns. Another close loss for the Browns. Jesus. 30-28. Herbert, 22 of 34, 228, 1 touchdown. Pretty pedestrian. Our guy Austin Eckler apparently is now back to being Austin Eckler. He has 5 touchdowns the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
After 0 the first fucking 3 weeks.
Yeah.
16 carries, 173 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Whoa. Joshua Kelly, 10 carries, 49 yards, or 1 touchdown. I saw Sony Michel only played 4 snaps, so they're not rotating those guys anymore. Joshua Kelly's one of those ads that actually you could play, right? Like he's getting 24
I want to see
carries.
him do it again.
Yeah, if you in a pinch, though.
Let's just look at the Browns could now stop the run.
So would you rather start Najee Harris or Joshua Kelly next week?
Najee Harris, for sure.
Mike Williams is playing football again, folks. 13 targets, 10 for 134. No touchdowns, though. But that's what we want to see from Mike Williams when Keenan Allen's out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, take the alpha role there. I'm a little worried about Herbert. I don't know, man. He's just not not like 228.
228.
But that's a 30-28 game.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the Browns cannot stop a running back right now.
Yeah.
They're getting destroyed on the ground. Yeah. And they're also destroying on the ground, so it's weird to have like a running team, a game with all runs with 8 points.
Yeah.
So
I'm not too worried about Herbert. I mean, he'll still blow up. Just wait for a primetime game in division shit. Like one of the reasons you drafted him is because that division. Well, I mean, at least ideally, you're going against a bunch of offenses.
So Gerald Everett pouring out for him. 1 target, 2 catches, or 3 targets, 1 catch, 2 yards.
Yeah,
that's not good. This is the game he should have.
Did he get hurt?
No, he just is Gerald Everett. Donald Parham came back and played some snaps, which probably hurt him. Okay, Browns, Brissett, 21 of 34 for 230, a touchdown and a pick. One of the worst picks I've ever seen. I don't know if you saw it. It was on like the 8-yard line. He could have scrambled probably for the touchdown, and he just fucking threw it in the back of the end zone right into the other team's hands.
No, I missed that one.
It was bad. Yeah. That's the reason they lost.
Bad.
So Nick Chubb, 17 carries, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That is what he does. He's not catching any passes this year, though, but it doesn't matter when he has 2 touchdowns a game.
Yeah.
That first touchdown was a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
Just bounce and bounce, and he got the sideline, had him, and then just...
Yep.
The guy's amazing. David Njoku, 6 targets, 6 catches, and 88 yards. Almost had another touchdown. He is a top 6 option, if you ask me.
It looks more than...
Yeah. One of my guys, man. Actually, a guy that paid off for me.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. Amari Cooper, really up and down this year. 12 targets, 7 for 76 and a touchdown. He's either having like 8 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown, or like 1 catch.
Yeah.
So he's 3 out of 5 good games though. So he's in the wide receiver 2 mix. Would you agree?
But he's due. I mean, if the trend continues, I think it's good game back in, good game back in.
Right. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 7 targets, 4 for 50. They're a really concentrated team. Where in terms of he's playing all the snaps, I do kind of like him as a Valdez-Scantling kind of thing. Like think of what he was with the Packers for those years. He's on the field a lot. He's running down the field deep. He just doesn't get a lot of targets. But I like guys on the field, and I like guys that have some talent.
Well, the bye week's coming up now. Now the waiver wire is going to be more important. So
yeah.
You don't have to you're not just waiting on an injury to happen. Now you actually need some guys.
Did you watch this game?
Oh, red zone.
So I tuned in at the end. Staley needs to be fired, bro. He's a moron. Analytics guy. He goes for it on his own 47-yard line with a minute left.
Oh, yeah.
Up by 2?
Yeah.
When they had no timeouts, like I get, you get the first down, the game's over. You know what else is over with? If you punt them inside the 10.
Yeah.
And they didn't get, dude. they missed the field goal. It was a 58-yarder. The Browns should have got even closer.
Mm-hmm.
Man, like the guy is just. I don't understand it. Like analytics is just rotting these guys' brains because like they're picking and choosing the wrong times to do these analytics.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's still like because with numbers like that, it's like all right, 55% of the time this works. This ends the game. But like, in those 55% of the times, was it the Chiefs against the Jets, or was it two playoff teams competing against each other? Like, granted,
that would have been an awful loss if they lost.
But they were running all over them all day. So
but I'm saying like maybe make Jacoby Brissett go 90 yards with 50 seconds left.
I hear you.
Instead of giving the ball in your territory, dude, with a field goal kicker that has a big leg.
And here's the bad thing is they still won, so there's not going to be any penalty.
Well, I penalize him for it. I love doing that kind of shit. All right, Bears and Vikings. Bears 22, Vikings 29. Bears made this a game. When in the first half, it did not look like a game. I do believe Kirk Cousins was 17 of 17, which, but then he kind of disappeared. So we'll go with the Bears here first. Justin Fields, 15 of 21 for 208 and a touchdown. Played pretty well. I mean, you got to let the guy play, you know. Like, and Mooney looked nice. 47 yards on the ground for Fields. Debating. So here's a question. So I have Russ in a bunch of leagues, Fantrax leagues, 4 for a passing touchdown. Do I pull the trigger on Fields over fucking Russ this week against the fucking Commanders? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a chance that Fields has 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of the primetime game, too, and Fields is the star.
Well,
I'd just say that would, like, if you're on the board, that might tip it for me.
It's tough, right?
But that's not a real, I mean, there's no stats to back that. It's just a gut feeling.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. I'm even debating that right now. I'm watching a quarterback throws 20 times a game.
Yeah.
So Montgomery came back and he looked pretty good. 12 carries, 20 yards, which isn't great, but a touchdown. But he added 4 for 62 in the air.
Mm-hmm.
He played 70% of the snaps. Ripped to Khalil Herbert. I had 1 week. You got 1 week of him. Just everyone started him, and he got 7 points.
Yeah.
And now it's just the same old fucking shit. God damn it.
Yeah, I think they might go towards I mean, they run the ball pretty well as an offense, it feels like.
Yeah, they just don't run enough pace, enough offense to support 2 running backs.
We just need to inherit the Niners type offense.
Yes, let's do that. Yeah. I like that. Mooney, 5 targets.
Be like the Niners.
Yeah. 2 receptions for 52 yards. Could have had an easy touchdown that Fields overthrew, I believe. Komet, 4 targets, 4 for 45, still playing 90% of the snaps. I'm not giving up on the guy.
No.
I'm not feeling thrilled about it, but I feel like potentially when this offense gets moving, if it does, he's a second target.
Sure.
And he's a decent player, right? Average.
It looks like he's going to get his 50 or 60 catches again this year.
Yeah.
That's the way it looks like.
Yeah. All right, Vikings. Kirk Cousins, 32 of 41 for 296. Touchdown and a pick. Should have been bigger numbers, but that's a solid game. I mean, easy to beat up on that defense. Dalvin Cook, 18 for 94 and 2 touchdowns. Madison only 9 for 19. I did see that it was snap share was Cook 40, and I think it was Madison like 32.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's possibly because the blowout, even though it wasn't a blowout, and just the injured shoulder for Cook. But they're getting Madison more involved, though.
Even last week, it was when you actually watch the game. It's I don't know. Cook's a guy that just keeps getting downfield, you know, and then he needs a blow like towards the red zone. So that's when Madison comes in and happens to score or whatever.
I need a blow.
I don't think Cook's shoulder doesn't look like a concern at all watching it.
No, it doesn't. Okay, Jefferson, 13 targets, 12 for 154. You can't guard that, man. He is back. Irv Smith had the second most yards in the team, 5 targets, 4 for 42. Osborne, 5 for 41. Thielen only 4 for 27, which is pretty concerning. But, I mean, Adam Thielen, he just hasn't found the end zone, which is what he usually always does. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not saying buy low for Thielen, but you could definitely play him.
Well, I think Thielen seems to be an afterthought to most people. I think he's borderline droppable for some people, depending on the depth of the league, I'm guessing. So I think if you want to buy low, it's going to be a significant buy low. Just trade someone that had a decent, like Matt Collins 2 weeks ago, you could probably trade for. Yeah. But now.
Well, now Matt Collins back because of the suspension, possibly.
Yeah. Well, also buy this week, though. So might be 2 weeks you won't have Matt Collins or Devontae.
Okay. That's true. Okay. Lions, Patriots, 29-0. Patriots destroyed them, ran all over them. Jared Goff had a Jared Goff game, 19-35, 229 and a pick. Also, fumble loss for a touchdown, I believe. That looked more normal for the Lions because they were the highest scoring team somehow going into Week 5.
Yeah,
unbelievable. Jamal Williams, 15 carries, 56 Craig Reynolds had a nice little stat line: 3 catches, 68 yards, 24 on the ground. St. Brown, 4 for 18.
Yeah. No, they just ran into a buzzsaw.
And they have a bye. They need to get healthy. They need Swift back. They need Swift.
Well, they were supposed to. Yeah, they were talking about. It sounded like he may have been able to go this last week, but they wanted to just
give him the break.
Yeah, an extra 2 weeks to be healthy for the
your
rest
boy
of
Hawkinson, though, 1 catch for 6 yards, 4 targets. Wow. After that last game, what the fuck is that, man?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't consider him my boy. I mean, I just had him on a couple teams.
Well, my bad.
I'm not good at like.
Cats like putting things in your mouth.
Yeah, don't paint me in that corner just because he has a bad week.
Well, I guess one takeaway I have here is that the Seattle defense is absolutely dog shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely, the defense sucks for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously they just gave up 40-something points to the Lions. Now the Lions get shut out.
Yeah.
Granted, Belichick destroys Jared Goff historically, but like, I don't know, man. Like, start people against Seattle because Seattle's defense, they give up that many points to the Lions. They just give up 39 points to the fucking Saints with Taysom Hill.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow. All right, Bailey Zappi for the Patriots, 17 of 21 for a $188, touchdown and a pick. He is at 75% completion percentage his first 2 games. Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Is he the starter now?
Well, it's, when you don't have to take shots, it's easy. When you're up, I mean, when the game ends 29-0, you're never behind.
Right. Your boy Damien Harris, that actually is your boy.
It is.
4 carries, 11 yards before leaving with a hamstring injury. The report is it's a multiple week injury, which you ever want to hear the day after the game.
Yeah.
Ramondre Stevenson season. 20, say that 5 times fast. Ramondre Stevenson season. Okay, I can't even say it once.
No, it's a lot of people's wet dream is finally becoming a reality here.
My bed was soaked. 25 carries, $161. Had a couple long, lumbering, like Marshawn Lynch runs. He's super fast for his size. Also, I did 2 for 14. We know he's a good receiver relative to Damien Harris.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to get that kind of workload, I love that, man.
Yeah.
Like, he is an RB1, right?
Yeah.
Like, at least in the time being.
Well, yeah. It's I'd be excited too. I have him, I think, in two spots. So yeah.
Your other boy, you have a lot of boys. He only had his kids are all boys, by the way. Jacoby Myers, 8 targets, 7 for 111 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
That man can play football. Was I wrong?
Well, I mean, he's I mean, outside of the injury or sandwiching the injury, really, he started off decent.
Right.
And, yeah. I mean, it's the biggest thing again I'll say is it looks like that the Patriots offense supports a wide receiver.
Yeah, and he is the guy. Yeah.
Whether it was Devontae Parker rather.
Yeah.
Or Jacoby. Jacoby's the guy, so when he's healthy, I wouldn't expect this too many more times, but I mean, you can get some consistency.
Honest question: Jacoby Myers or Jerry Jeudy?
Jerry Jeudy still.
It's crazy. It's a conversation though.
Well, it's
one needs to be had. I mean,
based on the numbers, it should be Myers because he's going to get more targets, more catches, more yards. But the baby Zap, I don't. It's not. It still scares me.
Okay, game of the day probably Seahawks Saints 39 Saints 32 Seahawks. Again, the Seahawks defense is poo. Geno Smith 16 of 25, 268 and 3 touchdowns. Added 13 yards on the ground, so he's running.
Yeah.
Biggest news of this game is Penny out for the year. He gone. His career's probably over. He had a nice run. I mean, there's just too many injuries.
Is it ACL?
No, it's a fibula.
Oh, yeah.
So a snap. It's kind of the injury I had, one of them.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. I mean, it's just too many injuries, and he's in the contract year. So he had 8 for 54 before he left. But Kenneth Walker had a 70-yard touchdown run, 8 for 88, and a touchdown.
It's a little jitterbug.
He's the guy. And I will say, DJ Dallas, also in PPR, if you're going to pinch this week, they're not going to be, in a lot of these games, I feel like. And if they're losing, they're going to trust DJ Dallas because Travis Homer is out for a few more weeks. Yeah. He's a guy that could give you a 4 for 48 through the air and maybe have a touchdown here or there. Tyler Lockett, man. Just doing Tyler Lockett things. 5 catches, 104, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
A couple great ones. DK Metcalf, 5 for 88 and a touchdown. Actually caught another touchdown. Awesome run that they got called back because of offensive holding.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a great player. I mean, these guys are good.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It's because watching the Saints versus the Vikings, I know it was in London, but I came away, the thing I was most impressed with was the Saints defense. And then Seattle comes in and even though they lost, they'll put up 32 points.
Yeah.
It's my point being Seattle's offense, I think, is pretty legit. I mean, they look, and we'll see how Penny affects them because I think people are. I know for a fact people are higher on the fucking rookie Kenneth Walker.
Walker, yeah.
He just I don't know. Watching him, he's so like jittery to me.
Yeah,
he's not. The game's still fast for him. You can tell because he's not. So I don't see season long success, or at least not immediate success. Maybe over towards the end of the season he might do it.
But this is what he needed was the injury, right? Because he wasn't going to supplant. Anytime soon.
Yeah.
Okay, Saints. Andy Dalton, 16-24, 187, touchdown and a pick. The real news here is Taysom Hill. And Taysom Hill's a tight end, if you didn't know, even though he doesn't play tight end, but he's still eligible. That's what he's eligible for.
Mm-hmm.
He is, I think, the number 2 tight end in fantasy this year on the back of 2 huge performances. But in this game, he was threw a pass, 1 for 1, 22 yards and a touchdown. And he added 9 carries, 112 yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns, including a 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's the best player in the world because he also, I think, what did he do? He recovered a fumble on special teams. The guy does everything.
He's what people were hoping Tim Tebow would be.
Yeah. He's a fucking monster, dude.
Yeah.
He does everything. He's the protector on punts. Like
he's college Tim Tebow. Yeah.
He is. He is essentially a college player, or almost a high school player. Right? Put him everywhere. Eventually, he'll play linebacker. I feel like, in the end of his career, it'll probably be a damn good one too. It's what's crazy is tight end position is so bad where it's like some weeks Taysom Hill will get you 3 points, not even 20 yards rushing. But he has these games where it's worth it because he'll win the week for you.
Yeah.
When if you're going between maybe not Njoku, but we'll say Dawson Knox or a lot of people started Tyler Conklin. Like I just want Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
And I especially with Dalton playing right with Winston, they have more of a real offense.
Yeah.
They're less likely to pull him off the field.
Sure.
But he only played 16 snaps too. Talk about efficiency. 4 touchdowns on 16 snaps.
Yep.
Jesus.
And even though you might get the 3 points, but the upside is there, and if you can start him as a tight end, because I know some where either way.
I mean,
dude, so if you're able to,
the defense knows it's coming too. It's a wildcat with him. What are they going to do? He's going to run.
Yeah.
And what is he going to do? He's going to find the lane, pull someone over, and score a touchdown.
Well, it feels like the guys just block for him. Like they just block better when he's back there.
All right, Alvin Kamara, 23 for 103. Looked like Alvin Kamara in this game. Real slippery. Jetpack on his fucking shoes.
Yeah.
He's back. He hasn't scored a touchdown yet this year. He also had in 6 catches for 91 yards. I think next week, who do they have next week? Yeah, they're favored. So I think next week one of my favorite bets will be, depending on the odds, is Alvin Kamara to score a touchdown because he doesn't have one.
I like it.
And problem is, if Taysom Hill, if it's still Dalton, Taysom Hill's probably going to score 3 more. Good luck getting a touchdown when Taysom Hill's doing all of it. Chris Olave, 6 targets, 4 for 54, and a touchdown. First time I've ever seen a player get knocked out or get a head injury and the touchdown stands. He lost the ball in the end zone. They caught it.
Oh yeah.
I think he'll be fine. I had this talk with Dave the other day. He still thinks Olave is the receiver to own there. I still think it's Michael Thomas. We'll see. This only helps Michael Thomas though, because now they have a downfield threat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's the status on Thomas?
Said he's ready to go week 6. They reported that on Sunday.
Cool.
So, all right. Let's hope. We'll see. I'd prefer it with Jameis Winston.
They know on Sunday. I guess they'll just assume.
Yeah, they're just playing it safe, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, next game here. This one hurt for us both. The Round Square Special that went backwards.
Yeah.
Dolphins at Jets. I mean, it didn't help that the quarterback got knocked out, even though he wasn't knocked out. But the Dolphins have to play everything safe with concussions right now, my man.
Yeah.
He didn't even stumble. Whatever. Skylar Thompson is his name, or fuck him. 19-33, $166. Terrible pick and an awful fumble, on his own goal line. That hurt, man. 40-17, the Jets won, and it was a way closer game than that.
It was
if Sanders didn't miss
that
field goal,
2-point game with 8 minutes left in the game.
If Sanders hit that field goal though at the end of the first half or whatever, they would have been winning going into half.
Yeah.
But Mostert 18 carries for $113 and a touchdown. Raheem must start. Because he is the only guy there. Chase Edmonds had actually got outsnapped by Myles Gaskin. You had Gaskin everywhere. You try to pick him up. Chase Edmonds, 1 carry, 1 yard, and 1 yard long. Did not have a catch in this game. I don't know what they're doing. Why did they sign him? They knew who he was.
Wow.
Still, if someone's going to drop Chase Edmonds, I'm going to scoop his ass. Because I don't think Mostert will hold up if he gets this workload. But Mostert's just a better real-life running back. He's an actual running back.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's just because they're passing so much less now. They're relying on obviously Mostert's the better running back, so they're
well, he is a running back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Tyreek Hill, he's pretty much quarterback proof. 7 targets, 7 for 47. Did add 13 yards on the ground. He's at least getting the work. Jalen Waddle, another stinker. 3 targets, 3 for 23. Fuck that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not panicking yet, but if it's this fucking, what's his name, the quarterback? If it's this Skylar Thompson guy, I'm not really, I mean, I have to start Waddle. You can't bench him.
Yeah.
I think buy low for Waddle, though, after these 2 performances, because I think he's more likely to do what he did earlier in the year than he is for 3 for 23.
Yeah.
That's ugly, though.
Well, you saw his potential. As long as Tua or even if he's there, it's just...
Yeah. Okay, the Cougar Hunters. Zach Wilson, 14-21 for 210. This is a perfect game for him. Didn't need to really throw too much. But the news really here is Breece Hall, a guy you hated, and I was on, and then I was off because of the reports of Michael Starter being the starter, Michael Carter. Breece Hall, 18 carries, 97 yards, and a touchdown. Also 2 catches for 100 yards. That's real nice. 79-yard reception, got tackled at 1. He could have had 3 touchdowns in this game. What's crazy is Michael Carter had 2 touchdowns in this game. He got goal line carries. Breece Hall is an RB2 for sure, right?
Good,
He's taken over the role. He's a pretty solid player.
For sure.
Wide receivers, Davis, 2 for 38. Garrett Wilson, 3 for 27. Elijah Moore, 1 for 11. Ooh, man. Obviously, better days ahead for all
40 points. That's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's just 21 passing attempts, right? It's crazy how you don't have Joe Flacco back there going 50 passes.
Yards. Like, that's just... They combine... The top 3 receivers have less than 100 combined yards.
Yeah, buy low on Moore, though, man. I mean, he's a good player. Everyone wants to talk about Garrett Wilson, but if you can get more for pennies, I'm in for that.
Wide receiver 3 to me.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, Falcons, Buccaneers. This is flag football here, so we changed it up here for flag football. 21-15, Buccaneers win. They were up 21-0 in this game. I don't know how it became a close game, but let's break it down here. Marcus Mariota, 14-25 for a $147 and a touchdown. 61 yards on the ground, which is nice. Tower Algier led the way, carries, snaps, all that. 13-45. Huntley had 8 for 34. What's is really maddening though is that Avery Williams got the touchdown, right? Like everyone started Algier and picked up Huntley, and then Avery Williams gets a touchdown on like 8 snaps. That's fantasy football for you folks.
That's a coach, right? Or Avery Johnson.
Yeah. He's too small. Zacchaeus led the way receiving, 2 for 39 and a touchdown. Drake London disappointing, 7 targets, 4 for 35. He's cooled off.
Yeah.
No Kyle Pitts in this game. But
still one of his best games of the year, though.
Yeah, because you didn't start him. Nice. What would you have projected?
His ROI was the highest it's been so far.
What would he have done? 2 for 21. Kyle Pitts in this game. It's about right.
Yeah.
2 for 21.
It's physical and Tampa's linebacker. Yeah, I think they're 3 for 36 hypothetically.
Wow.
I think he had a pretty good game this week.
All right. Your boy Brian Edwards had a catch. 1 for 10.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, he's back. It's nice he's playing again.
Yeah.
All right. Tampa Tom, flag football. Tom Brady, 35-52, 351 and 1 touchdown. This is more what we like from Tom Brady. Touchdowns aren't coming yet, but they will.
Well, look at the way. So, I'm sorry to cut you off here. What the biggest difference, and I think the reason
cut me off, I'm leaving.
The reason they didn't make deep into the playoff, you can see how much of a difference Godwin is. How his gravity affects the whole offense, makes everything so much easier. He returns and all of a sudden, very first play of the season, right? The 40-yard pat or whatever, 15, whatever it was. I forget what it was for Godwin, but oh shit, the offense looks good. And then kind of stammer out, and then Godwin got hurt, comes back, and they're averaging twice as many points as they were before.
Yeah. Fournette, 14 carries, 56 yards and a touchdown. Rashad White had 5 for 14. I did see Rashad White played about 38% of the snaps. So they're getting him involved. I mean, obviously they're on the field a lot this game.
Yeah.
Well, I like Rashad White as an elite handcuff because it seems like he is the guy. He's a good player. He can catch. He can do everything Fournette does. He's just not as proven.
You've been on him for a minute now.
I have been. I'm always on. I'm always on Rashad White. How many catches do you think Leonard Fournette had in this game?
4.
10. What? 11 targets, 10 for 83 and a touchdown.
What the fuck? Nice.
Yeah, that's what he does, man. Mike Evans, 4 for 81, 8 targets. Godwin, 6 targets, 6 for 61. Pretty nice. Cade Ottens, the guy I want to talk about because Brake was out. Cade Otten had 7 targets, 6 for 43. They were looking for him, and he is a streaming option if Brady's out again. He obviously has the trust. They talked him up a little bit in the preseason. He looks okay. He has a trust of, he's playing all the snaps, he can block.
Yeah, I don't remember too much from this game. So
yeah, well, I got you. Scotty Miller was on the field for some reason. 4 for 35.
I remember seeing that a lot.
But I will say Rashad White had 3 catches for 28 yards and 4 targets. So nice. he can play.
Yeah,
I like the fact that they trust him. He fumbled that kickoff. If he was in the Patriots, he would have been released. Yeah. So the fact he's still involved, he's a start desperation deep league PPR. You could do worse because on that offense, getting 22 snaps, you could do worse than that.
I like it.
Okay, any thoughts, Buccaneers? Anything you want to touch on there, Hoss?
Atlanta's fun to watch, man.
They are feisty,
and they're also 5-0 in covers this year.
Mm-hmm.
They've covered every single game, so
that's pretty nice. Okay, Titans Commanders, kind of snoozy. Titans 21, Commanders 17. Ryan Tannehill is trash, 15 of 25 for 181 and a touchdown. Game manager shit. Derrick Henry. Sorry, Brian Wright. Although you did get Pierce, but he's not Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, 28 rushes, 102 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's a day right there. He also added in 2 for 30 to the air. I mean, the guy's he's Derrick Henry. There's nothing changing about this. This team is resilient. It's what they do.
It's crazy. It's the second year in a row, at least in a mutual league of ours, that we have seen Derrick Henry get traded within like the first 2 or 3 weeks.
After a couple down weeks.
And then blows up.
That's what he does. All right, Nick Westbrook and Keeney. 3 targets, 2 for 72 led the way. Robert Woods, 8 targets, but only 4 for 37. Robert Woods is the number 1 there. And I will say, is it Dontrell Hilliard?
Mm-hmm.
That's Ryland's guy. 5 targets, 4 for 23 and a touchdown.
As soon as we told him to pick up pass games, we tell him on Thursday. He's like, I'll drop Hilliard.
All Hilliard does is score touchdowns, apparently. He plays like no snaps, and they just give him a screen pass, and he's good.
Yeah, but his basement is 0.
Yes, that's true. And I still feel like he's not really the handcuff.
No,
right? Like
I think
he'd have more run.
At least, I don't know. Who the fuck knows anymore?
Yeah, we don't know. Obviously, we don't know. I mean, we're just talking to you. So, all right. Carson Wentz, actually a nice stat line here. 25 of 38, 359, 2 touchdowns and a pick. It's a Carson Wentz experience right there. He did fumble 3 times, but didn't lose any of them. But, I mean, just that's what you're going to get, man. Brian Robinson's triumphant return. Get well, dude. Good for you. You got shot and you're back, baby.
Yeah.
You're like 50 Cent up in the air. 9 for 22. Not great, but Carson Wentz, 5 for 15, and Gibson, 3 for 6. Yeah. So they had 28 yards from the running backs on the ground. That's not great. That's a mess there. That back.
Gibson seems to be like progressively getting worse and worse each week. And this was Robinson's first NFL game, so NFL action. So.
And McKissick had 7 targets, 5 for 37. So it's a 3-way committee. Where in PPR, give me McKissick, just because at least you're going to get the 33% snap share in the catches.
Yeah, I think the only way you're going to get anything that's resembling clarification is another
right.
Someone has to get
maybe
shot.
Antonio Gibson will get shot.
How many people have to get shot for us to figure out what this backfield's really about?
Hire a hitman or something. Diane Brown, Sims guy. That's Sims guy. He had his number 1 receiver.
Yeah.
4 targets, 2 for 105. Didn't you tell me that wasn't there that little story, a little puck piece you said about him like surviving the abortion?
I thought it was cancer.
Oh.
He had something in college or something.
I
forget exactly.
I thought it was Charlie Kelly, So He's Sunny, where he survived the abortion.
Oh, gosh.
Well, serious.
Maybe.
God, we don't want to get the campus take on abortion here because it is really, really whacked out.
What?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. We have different opinions on abortion. We're not going to get into that, are we?
I hope not.
Rob's ranks. Okay, Rob's ranks. Okay, Terry McLaurin. Fuck Terry McLaurin. He's playing all the snaps, like all of the snaps. 6 targets, 5 for 76. Got my prop on that one, but I don't know, man. Curtis Samuel, 8 targets, 6 for 52. I mean, he's better than McLaurin.
Hey, fancy
why?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, McLaurin is a plotting wide receiver 3.
It sucks.
Yeah.
But he's a way better player than that.
Yeah,
right?
It doesn't even feel like he has wide receiver 1 upside anymore. As someone that owns him in so many places, I'm like, he's a 3rd guy now. I view him as a wide receiver 2 as long as I have a decent, like a tier 1 guy. But I was thinking he would have more blow up weeks.
Yeah, and better days will be ahead, especially if Carson Wentz keeps on chucking. But like you see 359 yards and he doesn't have a touchdown and he only has 76.
Yeah.
He needs 120 in this game.
Yeah.
We'll see. He needs to do it on Thursday.
He needs to start scoring.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, Texans, Jaguars. Snooze, snooze, snooze. It was 6-6 with 3 minutes left in the game. There was no touchdown scored until the end. Davis Mills is 16-24 for $140. That is not good. Damian Pierce, 26 rushes, 99 yards, and a touchdown. He is Marshawn Lynch. I will say, though, he had 3 catches, too. He's going to get himself hurt. Now, he is a big dude, a strong dude, but he looks for contact, which is good to a point. But when you're getting 28 touches a game in the NFL and you're trying to lower your shoulder every time against a linebacker, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get concussed. You're going to fucking fuck up your ankle.
Exception being Derrick Henry.
Right. But Derrick Henry, believe it or not, falls pretty gracefully. Like he delivers punishment, but he doesn't ever get tackled. Like Pierce is getting tackled because he's, instead of going down or running the sideline, he's going to deliver a hit.
It's maximum effort.
And I like it, but he's proven the doubters wrong. I don't know how the guy didn't get playing time in Florida in college. He played 4 years in college and never was a starter. Yeah. And now what is he doing in the NFL? Fucking dominating. Yeah. Oh, the workload. That one run he had towards the end, dude. That could not tackle that guy. I thought he was going to score there. I'm like, well, you can't tackle him after 6. You can't tackle him now.
It was definitely. I mean,
he's good
for sure. I've never seen someone rise so fast in boards and like I don't know, just becoming like a 5th or 6th round draft pick. But now it looks like it's going to pay off.
Remember that Superflex trade when I said Wentz was a focal point? I traded fucking AJ Dillon and Pierce, and I got CeeDee Lamb. And Davis Mills, but and Jamal Williams, but like. Fuck, man. Like, I want Damien Pierce back. Give me that. Fucking A. Now I have Dobbins, who we'll get to that later, but holy fuck. Nico Collins, a couple of clutch catches. One really sweet catch, dude. He fucking, like, went over the guy and, like, pumped it up. He's great. 6 targets, 4 for 65. Brandon Cooks, 6 targets, 4 for 20. Therefore, Collins is better than Brandon Cooks. I like Nico Collins going forward because, the Texans will be conservative until they can't. Yeah. Right? And like right now, these games have been close and they've been allowed to be conservative. Eventually, they're going to get the brakes beaten off them in some of these games. And that's when Nico Collins is going to emerge as a wide receiver 4. If he isn't already, right?
Yeah, I like Collins. It's slow and steady, but you can see improvements like flashes of potential, right?
And there's also the what I like about Collins is obviously this team is going nowhere this year. Brandon Cooks sounds really nice for the Packers, right? Like, trade him for the 3rd round pick right now. Yeah. What do you need him for? Yeah. Develop Nico Collins, lose more games, get your quarterback. I think that's a possibility, besides Cooks also getting hurt. But, like, I feel like that's a good possibility, and that would only help Nico Collins, right? Sure. Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, bounce-back game a little bit, but not really, as I'm looking at it. 25 of 47, which is not great. 286, that's what I was looking at. No touchdowns and 2 picks. We still like Trevor Lawrence here. It's been a little rocky, but that's what it was always going to be. He's essentially a rookie because you can't count a season with Urban Meyer at the bars coaching. He's running off the game plan on a fucking bar napkin. You know what I mean? Like with a girl's number and a lipstick kiss on it. Like, and then he loses it. He's like, fuck. Travis Etienne, 10 carries for 71 yards. You see what I did there? It was pretty nice. That's off the top of my head, Cass. Bringing the energy, So Etienne, 10 for 71. He pretty much took over the lead role here after the first 2 drives. And the weird thing is, this wasn't a game flow thing because they were winning or tied the whole game. Yeah. So you think it'd be a Robinson game, and it was not. So Etienne looks great, dude. He looks like a faster, less powerful, elusive version of Alvin Kamara. Yeah. If that makes any sense. He's got all the little moves. He's slippery. Yeah.
I'm excited to see him. As the season continues.
Yeah, and it's nice that Agnew didn't do anything. So, even if they want to get Robinson more back involved, maybe now he's earned the trust to get the Agnew role. Mm-hmm. Give him he should be on the field 70% of the plays. Yeah. Put him in the fucking slot. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Christian Kirk, though, real quick, James Robinson, 10 for 27. Back to earth. Yeah. I still... it's not like a end of the year for him or anything. Like, you can still start him because they'll be better,
But he looks like he's peaked already.
Yeah, it's like a 1A, 1B.
It's all downhill from here.
One guy we got to talk about is Christian Kirk. Fuck. Yeah. Now, last week was bad. He had the 2 long catches in the 4th quarter. But he had 9 targets last week, which at least is nice, and it was a rain game. This game, he had 3 targets, 1 for 11, in a game that he had 47 pass attempts. They weren't looking his direction at all. Marvin Jones had 11 targets, 7 for 104. Evan Ingram, 10 targets, 6 for 69. Yeah. What's going on here? Zay Jones, 8 targets, only 3 for 12, but still. I'm not panicking. It's more where Christian Kirk should always have been, a wide receiver 3. Mm-hmm. We were talking like wide receiver 2. He's not necessarily a must start anymore.
No.
But I still feel comfortable as he's the number one.
Sure.
One bad game. Mike Evans has these games. Everyone does. But it's just not encouraging when he throws all these passes.
So it's back-to-back kind of what the hell's going on weeks.
Yes.
So we need one of the, here he is, weeks.
Yeah, 7 for 80. How was that?
We just need him
and he will. Evan Ingram, though, 10 catches, 6 for 69, and he had a couple drops as usual. But that's not bad. I mean, he's in that tight end clumpage. That didn't come off well. Okay, 49ers and Panthers. I bet this one because of your recommendation. 37-15. And believe it or not, this game was real close. At one point, it was a 7-point game, almost the end of the half.
Yeah, it was. Because this is when I pay attention to being one of my bets. It never felt real close.
No, but the score was closer than what.
Yeah, because I was expecting it to be like a 20-10, like 17-10 type game. Right. But the Niners just need a little more time to actually score a couple more times. But
all right,
what do you got?
I got Garoppolo 18-30 for 253 and 2 touchdowns. That's a pretty nice line. Jeff Wilson 17 carries, 120 yards and a touchdown. Would have been a bigger day, but Tevin Coleman reared his ugly head. He's a Shanahan guy, always has been. 8 carries, 23 yards and a touchdown. Also added in 3 for 44 in the air and a touchdown. So 2 touchdowns for Tevin Coleman. Yeah. Shanahan loves that guy. Yeah. He's definitely going to be on the staff one day doing something.
I will say this. Wilson has hit his over on the rushing receiving prop every single week.
Yeah, because he's good. Yeah. Debo, 2 carries, 12 yards, 9 targets, 2 catches, 20 yards, but he did salvage with that touchdown. Mm-hmm. He's going to have these games, but he finds the end zone. And what's weird is they're not using him as a running back this year, so that's a problem. But he's still a back end wide receiver one, just the talent, right? You can take any play to the house.
Yeah, because it was last week you saw him. Who were they beating up on last week?
That was the Niners. Or sorry, the Niners. That was the Rams.
That's right. Yeah.
Brandon Ayuk, 4 targets, 3 for 58. They're not getting him involved enough, but buy low for me because he's out there the most of all the receivers. I like his talent, and eventually that defense is getting fucking destroyed with injuries. Yeah. They lost Ward, who just came back, broken hand, and they lost their number 2 corner. Yeah. And Bosa's out. Yeah. With a groin. Yeah. Apparently, the Bosa's groins are just impeccable, by the way. Yeah. But dude, they're just they rip muscles off their bones because they're just such fucking strong specimens, dude. Yeah. Do you see him sitting on the sideline? Hey, he's a handsome ass dude. Wow, he got the looks from the Bosas. He's a better looking dude than his brother. Yeah. But dude, he doesn't even have that. His muscles aren't super cut. Expertise in men's physiques. But you can just tell he's just built different.
Yeah.
It's
strong.
with a little bit of definition.
Sure.
Sorry about that, but
right.
saying that defense is hurting, dude. Yeah. And they'll always find guys, but eventually rubber hits the road when you don't have the players, and then you give up 28 points. Mm-hmm. So I think in the next couple of weeks, expect higher scoring games here.
I like it.
That's why the Brandon Ayuk thing, their defense can only plug and play so many guys.
Sure.
And Bosa's huge.
He's done it before.
He's huge. Yeah. Okay. Kittle, 6 targets, 5 for 47. He had all that in the first quarter. He had 4 catches for 46 yards in the first quarter, and then nothing else after. Mm-hmm. With how bad tight end, though, is he's still a top 5. He's eventually going to start catching touchdowns. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. Okay, Baker Mayfield. By the way, Panthers fired Matt Ja Rule, so we can't make that reference anymore. But he was terrible. Baker Mayfield's even worse. 20 of 36, 215 and a pick. That pick he threw, bro. Yeah. He's pump faking, he's scrambling, and got wide open Mccaffrey in the flat 8 yards and just fucking throws it over his head right to a defensive back who just returns it, and then you see him try to tackle too?
No. What I don't get is they fired Rule, and then they fired the defensive coordinator, but promoted the offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Apparently he's a quarterback whisperer. I don't fucking know. But anything for our boy DJ Moore to fucking do something, because PJ Walker is starting. By the way, PJ Walker went 5 of 6 for 60 yards. I wouldn't count that because it was garbage time. He's not a great passer. But anything's better than Baker Mayfield right now for DJ Moore.
I have to, in my 20-man league, I have to figure out how much fab I want to use on him.
Walker? He's a temporary.
I know, but I have Davis Mills, who, 1, that sucks. 2, he's on bye. So and the only starting quarterback on is Walker. So
quite a bit, 40%. What's your record?
I just used 4-1.
Okay, so you can go, but you don't want to lose.
It's either Mills or no quarterback.
And if Walker plays out, he might be the starter the rest of the year. I've always liked PJ Walker.
Yeah. We'll talk about it out there.
Yeah, we will. Okay, McCaffrey, 14 carries, 54 yards and a touchdown, adding in 12 targets, 7 for 50. They're going to get that man hurt again, but, it is what they have no choice.
Right now the offense is so bad. If you're a Kamara manager, I say just take it while you can get it. CMC. Just take it while you can get it. To be happy that he's actually producing.
Right, he is. DJ Moore, fucking 8 targets, 459. Smith was the leading receiver there with 69 yards. That's gross. DJ Moore is a buy low to me, though, still, because his value is so diminished.
Yeah.
If you can get me him for a low-end wide receiver, like wide receiver 3 numbers, like swap a player.
DJ Moore for Kirk?
Ooh, no. Sorry. Nothing really else to talk about here. Low. No, not that low. Okay, Cowboys Rams. You called this one correctly. 22-10. The Cowboys beat up on them, and the Rams only scored in that long broken Cooper Kupp play where he ran about 60 yards after the catch.
Yeah,
it's bad there, man. Cooper rushed 10 of 16 for 102 yards. That shows how much this wasn't a game because he didn't have to do anything. Tony Pollard 8 carries for 86 yards and a touchdown. You never know when to start the guy. Because when you should start him, he has 12 yards. And when you shouldn't start him, he has a long touchdown.
Yeah.
So
Zeke. Fan tracks who again?
We went 1-1. Okay. R2, the one we thought was worse, we're 2-3. The other one we're 1-4. Awesome. But we're all right. We're good. Yeah. We got me. Now we're getting to the meat grinder time where there's buys. I'll pick up the guys.
Yep.
Zeke 22 for 78. He is a plotter. He is bad. Give me some more Tony Pollard because there's zero chance that Tony Pollard touchdown, Zeke would have scored in that.
Yeah.
Right? He would never even got to the second level.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. 8 for 86 and a touchdown for Pollard. Like, the guy is just fucking dynamic. So, here's the receiver numbers. This is hilarious, by the way. Dalton Schultz, real quick, re-injured that PCL. But they also had the report coming out, of course, Jerry. Oh, he's ready to go next week. All right. Why are you making that report on Tuesday?
Yeah, he's droppable for me now.
For sure. You hated them all. I fleeced you in that one, except for you got Hollywood Brown. But anyways, CeeDee Lamb, 8 targets, 553.
You realize actually you still had the best player.
CeeDee Lamb, 8 targets, 553. Gallup, 5 targets, 4 for 44. And then Noah Brown's the only other one to catch a pass. 2 targets, 1 for 5 yards. You didn't need to throw in this game because the Rams are terrible.
How many targets did he have?
8. Still 8 in this game.
Beautiful, man.
He's target share monster.
Probably the lowest for a guy that plays all game. The lowest attempts for a quarterback, and he still get 8 targets.
He had a 50% target share.
He's unbustable.
Yeah, better, especially when Dak comes back.
Unless he gets hurt, he's unbustable.
Yep. Okay, Matt Stafford, speaking of bustable, 28 of 42, 308, a touchdown and a pick. The numbers look nice, but my phone just died. Anyways, I'll get back. The numbers look nice, but you got to realize you had that 70-yard touchdown to Cooper Kupp that was a yak play. So
skewed the numbers a little bit.
I still think Matt Stafford is a back-end quarterback 1. They're going to get it figured out, right? Like, they have to. It's Sean McVay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They're going to get it figured out. They have to. The good coach. He's still a fucking champion, right? You still got the fucking best receiver in the league there. Yeah. Cam Akers, 13 for 33. And I don't know if you saw the play that, I don't know, was it Aikman calling it or it wasn't Aikman, but whatever. They showed the end zone cam of Cam Akers had the most easy cutback lane for like 15 yards. Didn't see it and just got swallowed for 2 yards. Yeah. Like, he's just not a good football player.
Yeah.
He's in the Jerry Jeudy mold. And Henderson didn't have a carry in this game, but he did have all the receiving work. So, I don't know. They're fucked either way.
Yeah, but, right now the Rams need to change something. Something needs to happen. They
need to
do something else.
And Akers isn't helping them because he misses, he's bad in pass pro. He's not taking advantage of easy runs. You got to get to easy yards. Get ahead of the chains a little bit, and he is trying to go for home runs even though he's not a home run hitter.
Yeah.
So I don't like that at all. So I'm just a little scared there. But Cooper Kupp seven catches for 125 and a touchdown, 75-yard long. That's what he does. Tutu Atwell 154, Skoranek 6 for 41, and Higbee 7 for 46.
Higbee's
so they're a little screens.
Higbee's the CeeDee Lamb of
tight ends. He's pretty solid, man. Especially with the landscape, give me that all day.
It's gonna be tough for him to bust unless he gets hurt.
Yeah, they don't bust. They never finish. Okay, let's go to the next game here. Eagles Cardinals 20-17. I thought the line was fishy because it seemed like an easy bet on the Eagles. Mm-hmm. And look what ended up happening. The Cardinals covered. Jalen Hurts had his best game, 26 of 36, 239. Most of those being on little screenplays of Devontae Smith. He's getting exposed a bit. Yeah. Now, he is still a warrior, and he extends the plays, and I still like him. But as a passer, he doesn't need to be great, and he's not great. But, like, people are talking about him, like, being an elite passer. Yeah. Let's pump the brakes on that one now. A.J. Brown, man. Now, Hurts had 15 carries for 61 yards and 2 touchdowns. Both little scrambles or little quarterback sneaks from the one. Mm-hmm. He has 6 rushing touchdowns this year. He might have 20 rushing touchdowns. He might go 20-20.
Maybe. That'd be cool.
Miles Sanders, 15 for 58, but, I mean, he should have had one of those touchdowns in the one. He's playing 70% of the snaps. He is in Josh Jacobs' realm for me. Yeah. And only going to be better. Dallas Goedert killed it, 9 targets, 8 for 95. He looked real good. Devontae Smith, 11 targets, 10 for 87. Most of those just being little screenplays and all short yardage stuff, but I like that a lot.
Doesn't matter how you get him.
A.J. Brown, though, is a big buy low for me right now because he's
back a few weeks in a row. Right?
7 targets, 3 for 32. And I didn't actually watch the very beginning of this game, but apparently he was on the fucking bench for the first 5 snaps.
Oh, really?
Like, I don't know if that was a missed a meeting kind of thing. And then he came in and had 2 of his 3 catches on that drive, but he missed the first 5 plays.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like an in-house punch.
Yeah, okay. That would make sense. But, like, he's a buy low because it's A.J. fucking Brown.
Yeah.
And they're going to eventually need to pass some more. Their defense is going to be this great all year. Maybe it is, but, like, buy low. If you can get him for a little less than where he was drafted, I like that a lot just because that passing, they're passing the ball. Any thoughts on the Eagles for you?
I was unaware of the A.J. Brown thing, but what I do like is if there was some sort of discipline in-house, there's been no, like, in today's era, there's no leaks, and that happens, that means it's a tight-knit group of guys. That just kind of...
There wasn't a guy, like, filming him going to the meeting late, like a Draymond Green thing?
Well, just even saying someone saying something, because,
right.
You know...
That's what happens when you're 5-0, though. Those things don't get reported. Yeah. When you're 0-5... Yeah, that's reported, right? True. So,
it might be 5-0 because of the tightness.
Yeah, I like it. Kyler Murray, 28 of 42, 250, a touchdown and a pick. Adding in 4 for 42 on the ground. All those came in the fourth quarter because Kyler is not going to run until the game is out of hand. No. They had some design runs there at the end. Why aren't they doing that more? Yeah. Kyler fucking Murray, man. Like,
it's like, so if you're trying to steal a PlayStation, a PSP from Best Buy, you don't run until they start chasing you, until shit's got out of hand.
Well, if they want to win, though, they need to get him more involved in the ground. I know he's like an injury risk, but like at this point, fuck it, you got to win games, man.
You already paid him, so let him do what you paid him to do.
So, Benjamin, 8 for 25 and a touchdown. James Conner, 9 for 55. He got hurt again, second injury in 5 weeks. They say it's not serious, but like the injuries are going to pile up.
Sound like he's playing.
So, Benjamin's the guy. For me, I like him. You've been on him for a while. Solid little player,
Yeah.
Can definitely catch, can run a little bit between the tackles.
Yeah.
Obviously has the trust of the coaching staff, which is big, right? Even though the coaching staff is terrible. Kingsbury's terrible.
Obviously they're playing Seattle this week. So very strong.
Oh, yeah, of course. Marquis Brown, Whoopi Goldberg, 10 targets, 8 for 78, a touchdown. He is just roasting right now. That touchdown he had was great, too. Wow. Yeah. But if there was ever a time to sell Marquis Brown, I sold him a couple weeks early. Hopkins coming back next week. Yeah. As in week 7.
Yeah.
Hopkins is going to demand that target share. So Hollywood Brown is more of a wide receiver 3 going forward. Yeah. Unless he just isn't the same player, but I think he has one more solid year. I'm sure he's probably pissed off about the PED suspension.
Yeah.
It's DeAndre fucking Hopkins.
No, I think it's going to be similar to what I said earlier about Godwin, where Hopkins' gravity just makes everything else so much, like, you're actually going to start seeing Hollywood get, like, deep shots instead of being the possession guy.
Another thing that hurts Marquis Brown is Reno Moore had a nice game, 8 targets, 7 for 68. So and they have Ertz still. Once they do get him back, that's 4 options instead of right now it's been 2
so
all year.
Yeah, he'll do well. It's just
yes. Okay, AJ Green had a catch. Actually, 3 for 20. Wow. All right, we're on to Sunday Night Football here. Bengals at Ravens. If you had Bengals plus 3.5, you were loving that.
I know you did. Money line.
Well, that hurts. But you also had 3.5.
I did have both, but my money line bet was obviously the
okay, Burrow 24-35 for 217, a touchdown and a pick. That is fucking awful. He is seeing ghosts. He is scared of his offensive line, which I don't blame him. Mixon 14-78. I can't believe he didn't get that touchdown at the end because Burrow had the rushing touchdown. P. Ryan's pretty involved. He had 30% snap share, 3 rushes, 17 yards, but added in 4 for 39. I like him as one of those handcuffs and kind of playable in a pinch in PPR if you're fucking thin. I mean,
yeah,
I don't like it. I'm just saying like there's worse. You know, like he can at least get
Mixon just gets so much usage.
Yeah,
like, I think this is I still think this is the outlier. I don't think this is what it's going to be going forward.
Okay, Hayden Hurst, 7 targets, 653 and a touchdown. Your boy, you were talking about all off season. I started him in XFL. I started him a couple places.
Oh, yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
And, T. Higgins left in the first quarter. No catches. He's banged up. If you recall it was me and Nico. I said, like, he was injured his knee. He had to come out last week.
I remember. Yeah.
And, like...
He still had, like, 2 catches after that, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying he is beat up right now. Yeah. And now another injury on top of that. He's just a big body that gets banged around.
Yeah.
So, I don't know why he had his helmet on, but he didn't come back in the game.
Apparently he could have if it was required.
Well, they lost the game.
Yeah,
no. Jamar Chase apparently is a Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's a possession guy. 12 targets, 7 for 50.
Yeah.
He has not hit his yardage number. He's hit it like 1 out of 5 times this year. Better days ahead for him, but it's just not like it was last year. What, he had 5 touchdowns over 70 yards last year?
Yeah.
Or over 50?
But he started slow. I mean, most of that was in the second half.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to be consistent. I mean, you want as a fantasy guy, you want that to be the baseline.
Right. I'm a fantasy man.
If that's a big bust for him, a big bust week.
Yeah.
You're happy with that.
Okay, Tyler Boyd's concerning because with all that, he had 4 targets, 3 for 32 without Higgins playing in a game that he threw 35 times, decent amount.
Yeah.
I still like Tyler Boyd, and this week if T. Higgins is out, I still think Tyler Boyd get right game, back end wide receiver.
Sure.
Okay, Ravens 19-32 for Lamar Jackson, a $174 with touchdown and a pick. That's 2 down games in a row for Lamar after that sizzling hot start. But he did have 12 for 58 on the ground. About 30 yards of that was in the last drive, though, to get him in field goal range. J.K. Dobbins, fucking guy played 6 snaps in the second half.
Yeah.
He started off the game with a 17-yard run, 8 carries, 44 yards. I mean...
He hit something with his chest. Maybe he aggravated it? I don't know
what. No, it wasn't an injury thing because he was back on the field for a play that they got timeout called on. Yeah. And Kenny and Drake's getting run over him. They're giving Mike Davis carries. We got to see hopefully something comes out this week. We got to see what's going on there.
Yeah.
Because you didn't want to start him last week against the Bills because of game flow, matchup, etc. And the second game back, and he has 2 touchdowns and like 60% of the snaps. This week he had 40% of the snaps. Yeah. Just not, and that was mostly in the first fucking quarter.
Yeah, this is unless there's some news, it's a wait and see how.
But he looks good. He looks good. He looks
upset. Like, why isn't he playing?
And it wasn't like a blowout. It was a close game, division game at home. They need this game.
Lamar's not throwing.
And they're trusting fucking Kenyon Drake, dude. Yeah. Fuck that. Devin Duvernay, 7 targets, 554, also 3 for 24 on the ground. He's going to be playable even with Bateman coming back. Like, playable isn't like wide receiver 4.
Yeah.
But he's an okay little player.
Yeah.
I don't mind him. Mark Andrews, 10 targets, 8 for 89 and a touchdown. It's Andrews and Kelsey and everyone else. It's Kelsey and then Andrews and then everyone else, right?
Yeah. Taysom Hill's up there, maybe.
Right. For real, dude. Nothing else here. Nobody else had any catches, so because it was Lamar just didn't play great. But I mean, we got to talk about Justin Tucker. Legendary interview. He is one of the best football players in the NFL, regardless of position. There's just never a doubt. Like, and I don't have a lot of money on the line here with like Ravens generally. I don't have fantasy implications too much.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the Ravens, but it's like I never felt more comforting. Like, if I did have money on it, it's like Justin Tucker with a 49-yarder to win the game. Like, it's such a comforting feeling.
Yeah. Like, imagine how I was feeling when I had the Bengals.
Yeah.
They take the lead late, and I'm like, fuck, we have too much time. And all right, here comes the time. Like, it's the exact opposite.
Like, the gap from him to the next best kicker.
Yeah.
And Nick Folk's great, I will say. But Nick Folk doesn't have the leg that Tucker has. And they were talking about, like, the way he kicks, it's like, he's visualizing it. If he needs to kick it straight, right down the middle, and not have movement, it goes straight. If he wants to play a little fade, a little draw, like it's fucking artwork, man. And like the best thing is I loved in the post game interview, or the best interviews I heard.
Yeah.
The guy, I don't know if you heard, he sings opera in 7 different languages.
Yes.
Just a great guy. Like, he gave so much props and gave individual names to his crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
The whole operation, he calls it.
Yeah.
Where it's real easy. Kickers don't get interviews, okay?
Yeah.
And when they do, it's real easy to make it about himself because he is the GOAT.
Yeah.
Motherfucker's first fucking year, won the Super Bowl. Rookie, right? With Ray Lewis, all these guys.
Yeah.
Illustrious career. So clutch. Usually kickers have this kind of a career where they lose their job, they go to a different team, they lose it for a couple years.
Yeah.
This dude is so rock steady.
Yeah.
And like in his interview, he's just shouting out the guy, new holder this year. That was his first, he called it the first game-winning hold. where like the hold needs to be there for the kick.
Yeah.
But like he was just talking about the preparation and like the way they think of it. Like it's step by step by step. If they don't snap it well, they don't block well, they don't hold well, it doesn't work for him. But it's all on him. Let's be honest. Like, because how many fucked up snaps do you see besides Tony Romo?
Yeah, if he gets blocked, it's his job.
And it was humbling. It was just nice because like you never see a kicker interviewed, and it was about the team, which this shows a lot about Justin Tucker. He's probably a fucking favorite of everyone in that locker room.
Yeah.
You can trust that guy. Like he makes up for so many fucking faults for that team. It's like, oh, we have Tucker. Like, oh, you got sacked on the 42-yard. Now it's a fucking 61-yarder. It's Tucker.
Yeah.
Kicking in, by the way, kicking in Baltimore. Dude, imagine if he kicked in Denver.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what's crazy is if fucking Hackett had Tucker as a kicker, he would legit try 75-yard field goals.
Probably.
So, I got Justin Tucker. He's good. Like, be like, no, it's 2nd and 1 in the second. No, I got Tucker.
Yeah.
We'll take the points.
Yeah. Russ is a little tired. A little winded.
All right. Monday Night Football. Tough one here. 30-29, Chiefs take it. Raiders covered, and they had the game. They were 17-0. Derek Carr, 19-30, 241, 2 touchdowns and no picks. Josh Jacobs, back-to-back huge weeks.
Yeah, man.
Snap share, usage, you name it. 21 of 151, 1 touchdown. Man, the Jack Gerbil, he's a beast, man.
77.3 in average on 21 carries.
Yeah. Yep. Devontae Adams, weird Devontae Adams game. You never see this. 7 targets, 3 for 124 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's more of 9 for 110 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Catching deep passes. No one else really relevant here. Darren Waller got hurt in the first drive. Love that because I was against him, even though I have him, but it won me a game by 1 point. Didn't expect that. Jacobs 5 catches, 39 yards. There's nothing else. Run pro 4 for 25. Not a big volume game for Carr. They should have won the game. Any thoughts on the Raiders you want to talk about? The top 3 offense? Or
well, it looked good. They scored 20 in the first half.
Yeah,
they were up 17. They're up 17-0. Another disappointing loss. I mean, they had a chance to tie it.
Close losses. Have they been blown out once? They've all been 1-score games, right?
Yeah, I think that 4. I think the most they've lost by is 4.
Yeah. That's concerning. But I mean, it's a good sign. But,
yeah, no, I mean, expect them to play the Chiefs well. The Chiefs just find a way. Life finds a way.
Patrick Mahomes, 29 of 43, 292, and 4 touchdowns, all of which go to Travis Kelce, who had a really weird line. 8 targets, 7 for 25, and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
What is that?
25 and 4. Yeah, that's dope.
Well, I've seen like Mike Evans' lines where he has 2 catches, 8 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I've never seen a guy with 25 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. No, that's pretty dope.
They have a rapport, you know. It's Frank Reynolds and Charlie Kelly, man. It's like,
reminds me of a broken play in Madden.
Right?
Just can't get guys open. Yeah.
Valdez Scantling though, I started him in a couple leagues actually. I started him in XFL.
Nice.
8 targets, 6 for 90. He's playing the most snaps of all the receivers, and eventually Patrick Mahomes will connect with somebody on a deep ball for a touchdown. The running backs though is an issue here. McKinnon, who didn't play last week really much.
Yeah.
8 carries, 53 yards. He kind of flipped this game for them. And he had 2 for 19 through the air. CEH, 9 carries, 15 yards, and 3 for 20 through the air. This is more what I expected from CEH. He is a pipsqueak. He is small. He belongs. He's an Oompa Loompa. So, Pacheco, Lutz started him against me. 1 carry, 0 yards. That's it for him. He had 0 points. He is more of a blowout guy. I mean, more speculative to the end of the year because I feel like he has the most juice there. And we still have hope for Ronald Jones.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see. As long as they keep on winning, they're not going to bring him in there. It's a luxury. That's how good the Chiefs are. They have a luxury of a Super Bowl winner and a guy with a lot of fucking talent.
It's tough to. I mean, right now you still want CEH obviously, but I mean, the rest of it going down, who knows?
So Juju, 8 targets, 3 for 33, had a couple bad drops in this one. I still think better days ahead. He doesn't look that great, but like. He's the most veteran receiver, most trustworthy receiver. You can't tell me it's MVS because MVS has terrible hands.
Yeah.
So Sky Moore got a little involved. I do kind of like Sky Moore in terms of a bench stash if you have deep benches because obviously no one's emerging right now from this receiving core. And they're going to need somebody. And obviously right now it's not Sky Moore. He's a rookie. Yeah. He's fumbled on punts and shit. But I feel like there's a role for him to be carved out.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Especially if like Juju gets hurt or Scantling, one of those guys gets hurt.
Yeah.
Or at least they give him running a game and he shows out. Now he's in the fucking game plan. Now he's there. I feel like he's probably the most talented guy they have.
Sure. Yeah.
So we'll see. All right, that's all the games. You got any final thoughts or anything you want to say to the camera or the?
No. It was a fun week. I'm just ready for week 6.
Yeah,
I haven't really looked ahead yet, so
I need to start winning some games here in fantasy. It's just, I have a lot of 2 and 3 squads, which isn't the end of the world, but 2 and 4 is bad.
Yeah,
you need to go 3 and 3.
You and me both. It's consistently like 1 or 2 games under 500 every week. So
yeah, I
haven't had a positive week yet.
All right, buddy. That's weird.
And it's been a complete joy.